Calvary greetings, beloved. Today we are talking about give them no chance. Beloved, do you know that so many things are introduced to the world? Do you know that so many things is happening around us? So many things is being practiced in the world, but we must not give room to everything that we see, that we hear that is happening around us. We must not give room to it. We must not accept it. We must not give it a chance in our lives, because most of these things are just to cause us pain, to harm us, to torment us, and to leave us miserable. That is why we need to be careful. The Bible told us in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 23, it says, all things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful for me, but not all things edify. Meaning that we may have the right to do anything that we want, but you see, not all those things can be beneficial to us. Yes, because some of these things cannot edify us, cannot edify our spiritual life, cannot edify our race with God. That is why we must say no to some certain things in our life, even though the world is practicing it, even though majority is following that lane. We must not follow that same lane, because why? It will not be beneficial to us. We need to be very careful. The Bible told us in the book of Luke chapter 12 verses 1, the Bible told us that Jesus was addressing his people. There were many people gathering there, but first of all, Jesus was addressing his disciples, because his disciples are those that have known him, that have accepted him, that have identified with him, that have an idea of who he is. So because of that, he knew that the major target of the devil is not the unbelievers, but the believers. So he was teaching them to be careful, to be on guard against the perversive teaching, against the false doctrine, against the hypocritical teaching, against the diluted messages that will be introduced to them later on, so that they need to know about it, so that they will not fall into the trap. He was teaching them to be on guard, to be prayerful, to be sensitive, to be mindful of what they are doing, to be at alert, because he knows that the world will introduce a different doctrine. They will introduce a perversive teaching. They will bring different kind of tradition. So he was warning them ahead in order not to fall into the trap of the devil. If we are not on guard, if we are not prayerful, we will not know when a perversive teaching is being introduced to us. We will not know when a false doctrine is being introduced to us. That is why we need to continually be prayerful, be on guard, be vigilant, so that we will not fall into the trap of the enemy. Let's talk about the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who found themselves in a different community. Watch out for part 2. God bless you.